Hey there everyone, this is Mystic Fish, and welcome to episode 3 of our Lazy Pro Spoon playthrough of Factorio, where we are trying to get the 3 achievements of Lazy Bastard, Getting on Track Like a Pro, and There Is No Spoon all in one playthrough on default settings. Last episode, we managed to get red and green science up and running and assembled all the ingredients that we're going to need to finish the research for Getting on Track Like a Pro. This episode will hopefully be able to get that achievement. We've got about half an hour left, so hopefully we will be able to get that train up. And then proceed on to build out our main bus and move on with the game, shooting for getting things done and launching a rocket before the 8-hour deadline for There Is No Spoon. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's grab our assembly machines and let's get set up to make engines. We're going to need 20 engines for the locomotive, so let's go ahead and set up 4 assembly machines, and we'll make 5 engines in each one. All right, we just finished researching engine, so that's good timing. We'll start off logistics 2. This is actually the longest running research that we have to do here before we get to getting on track like a pro. So all right, an engine, each engine is 1 steel, 1 gear, and 2 pipes. So we're gonna stick 5 steel, 5 gears, and 10 pipes in each one of these assembly machines, and then that should make us our 20 engines that we need for the locomotive. And so now we're in good shape. We will make a couple of iron sticks. That's enough to make, 2 iron sticks is enough to make 4 rails, which is enough to fit a locomotive. So at this point, we are going to have everything we need for getting on track like a pro, and we just have to wait for it to finish. So let's get going on some more main bus activity. Looks like we need to top up our coal down here in the smelting. But let's go ahead and add copper to the mix. So we'll do something very similar as we did with the iron just above here. We'll get the 12 stone furnaces going, with inserters coming in, which means we'll want 8 electric miners to keep these busy just as we've done with the other ones. Half a stack of coal for right now, just to get them started. And then power poles. So let's get those in. Those are connected. Excellent. All right, I think it'd be a good idea to actually stop hand feeding the coal here. So let's go ahead and we need a splitter to tap into the coal line that's running up to the power. And then a few undergrounds to thread things through. So here's where the undergrounds are going to go. So that will let us feed the smelting columns from here. We'll just run a line of coal straight through. And then we can use inserters like this to put coal on the opposite side of the belt from the ore. This is as far as we'll go for right now, but that way now we won't have to refuel these furnaces. We will, however, have to go reclaim the iron from here just to make sure we keep smelting. All right, let's get the copper up and running. So we're looking for 8 electric miners, as we said before. Let's see, we'll put 4 here. That was too many. And then 4 on the other side. And then power. Put the power poles in the middle, and then we can drag. Let's see, I guess we want to do this so we don't get in the way of other miners coming down out of this copper here. But then we can just drag the belt across. It'll auto put the undergrounds in, and then up here, and we'll just feed it in. And that'll put the ore on that half of the belt opposite the coal. So that's good. All right, so that is copper automated. Good stuff. I think we should go ahead and build out more iron here, but let's see, in order to do that, we're going to need to continue making belts and splitters, and I think we're ready to move on to main bus stuff down sort of on the other end of the smelting. So let's go ahead and make sure we have undergrounds and belts and things like that. We're going to have to do a lot of belt weaving in order to set up the main bus and eventually a mall. So, but in the meantime, we just need to make sure we're producing intermediates. So let's see. But maybe it's worth, let's get some of the military stuff. Just again, we haven't seen evidence of the biters yet, but let's just build some stuff just in case they show up. They're going to show up at some point. We have no defenses right now, so we're better off going ahead and getting those running. So I'll let those run for a little bit, and then let's build some regular ammo here. We've got lots of iron, so we can just, I think, queue up 4 of those and let those run. Okay, so now we're generally crafting mostly useful stuff. We can grab the belts out of here, I think, and change things back to iron gears. That's always a good thing to use the iron in our inventory for. And now we can build out the second half yellow belt. So between these 2 sections of smelting iron, we'll have 1 full yellow belt of iron. And so that's what we're gonna run our initial red and green science off. So we'll patch in the coal here for the smelting. Otherwise, set this up just like the other ones. Now, because we're going to generate the output belt as well for the smelting, we can kind of drag the inserters across here like we're used to doing. That'll work pretty well. And then finally we'll get the power poles put in, but first I want to just copy the inserters and belts and so on into the other areas. These power poles are in the way. I guess it doesn't really matter too much, so we'll just paste these in. That way we've got the ghost of the inserters, so when we drag, we're not going to fill these in yet. We're going to wait till we have red belts and steel furnaces, but if we do this, this will help us drag the power down the middle appropriately with the power poles, so that will help us out here. Then we'll make sure we put coal for the smelting over here. And then we'll get our splitter for the ore. Okay. And then finally we'll run power across these. Whoop, I didn't get those last 2 in the right spot. It's important to have things lined up here. Okay. I'll fix this up a little bit. Very nice. Okay. Slide that down. And then we'll put the output belt in the middle. Good stuff. All right, so now we'll fill in the output inserters. And now we actually have some belts coming out of our smelting area that we can use to drive the main bus and the mall at this point. So hopefully we're gonna start to minimize some of our hand feeding with assembly machines to help build the base here. So we need the output belt for copper. We're not gonna build any more copper out yet. This is enough for what we need for the red and green science. Actually, you can get up to 90 science per minute for red and green science together, just with half a belt, actually even a quarter belt of copper. Okay, we are done with the research up here, almost. We'll put in the last little bit, so 50 copper, 50 gears, and a stack of inserters, 50 inserters in each green, and then half a stack of belts in each one for 50 belts. Okay, and that should be really the last research that we need. Engines are done. We'll leave one assembly machine here for making rails and the locomotive eventually. Okay, this generally looks pretty good, but we're gonna want to combine these 2 lanes of iron here into a single lane. So we got basically half a belt coming in on each one of these smelting lanes, and so if we put them together, that's going to be a full yellow belt. All right, we're going to need, let's collect all of our weaponry here. That's good. We can move the ammo over. I'm just going to drop the pistol on the ground because we don't need it. And then, let's see. We still have lots of iron. So more gears, I guess. This will help us out. We're about to, I think, pick a bunch of this stuff up soon and move it down off the end. Still no biters in evidence on the radar. That's good. Let's continue making the intermediates, green circuits. We still have some copper, so we'll make copper wire. And then, let's see, we're going to need more splitters to do what I want to do with the iron down at the end, so I'll explain that when we get there. And then, let's see, we're going to need more gears, so we might as well do that. Use up more of the iron. All right, we've used up just about all of the plates in our inventory. Okay, let's see. Let's build some more miners so that we can get another half belt of iron going. So, all right, that should make 10 while we're not working. I'll run out of iron first, and then kind of want enough for 6 more. We're eventually going to need more miners, so we'll just get another one going. That's got enough. It's got enough chips for 7 or 8 electric miners, so that's okay. All right, now let's come down here, and I want to put a very specific amount of iron towards very specific things. So let's see. Okay, I want to pull about 1/8 of our iron up here, or at least 1/8. Remember, we've got 1 full belt of iron coming in. And I want to start making steel with it. We'll just set up 12 furnaces right here, and so those will make steel until they're full. So that will give us 1,200 steel. That will be enough for us to make 200 steel furnaces eventually. And so those will be one of the first red-green researches that we do. So might as well start making the steel now. And because we actually have the full yellow belt is passing through 3 splitters and we're getting sort of the outside edge, that's going to result in 1/8, right? Because 2 to the power of 3 is 8. And so going through 3 splitters is going to be 1/8. So 1/8 of our iron is going to go towards steel. All right, let's continue making intermediates up here. More chips. All right, we got our miners. So that means we can finally start sending iron into our other smelting array. We'll start this one up by 1 since we don't have ore down below. Another 16 will be another half belt of iron. Put the power in first. Just 2 by 2. And then as per usual, drag the belt across. And there we go, over the power poles with the undergrounds. Okay, so let's see. Let's be a little sneaky here about how we want to do the belts here. We can actually swap belts like this and then not have to have the belts cross. So that should be good. Okay, so now we're definitely going to be getting the full yellow belt of iron going. All right. All right, but we need inserters to set up with the steel here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's kick this off. So we'll run this right next to the coal line conveniently, and that'll let us fuel the furnaces and grab the iron off of this sort of 1/8 iron belt over here. And then this will just stop once they're full. And this is going to be temporary. This is just a quick way to get this going so we have the steel sort of saved up for those steel furnaces, as I said. All right, let's see, we need to connect this to power somewhere. I guess we can drag the power poles down the middle of this one. That's the benefit of having the ghosts in place. Okay, good. All right, that's gonna make steel. All right, what else do we have? Got a few more power poles, but I think at this point, because we've got stuff going down at the other end and we have some intermediates either in the assemblers or in our inventory, we can actually, I think, pick this stuff up and move it down to the other end of the smelting array. Because we're going to start setting up the main bus, and we're not going to need to be sort of doing nearly as much of this before. All right, now I want half of a belt going to gears. We need gears for tons of stuff up front. So we need it directly for red science. We need it for we need for, you know, the ingredients for both belts and inserters for green science, plus a bunch of stuff in the mall. So I'm actually grabbing the center here, the center splitter, which if you see is actually 2/4, right? It's actually half of the second two splitters there each. And so that means this is half of the yellow belt. And so we'll set up the gears over here. Now let's see, I want to make a buffer because we're going to need enough gears in here that, you know, especially once we get to making red belts and stuff, those are very hungry for gears. So I don't like the way this is laid out. This being, this is going to get too tall. Let's just rearrange this. We'll lay it out horizontally with the buffer. So, okay, so we'll get 4 chests here. That will be the extra that comes off. We'll use splitter priorities, and then this will be the main belt line. And we'll make a lane balancer over here when things come back in off the buffer so that we can mix them back onto the bus. All right. We're starting the final research, railway. This is excellent. So that'll give us what we need for getting on track like a pro. We still got 17 minutes, so that's good. I'm going to start just with 4 assemblers for gears. Until we get more of the main bus set up, that's probably all we need immediately. But let's get some more, let's move our personal assembler array down here and get some more stuff going here. So we definitely are going to need inserters for them all. Let's see, we're going to need some long-handed inserters for stuff in the mall, so let's get that going. We'll feed it with some of these inserters we just made. More green chips, definitely just need more intermediates. We've got lots of copper in the inventory, so let's turn those into copper cable. Let's see, let's just get power set up here. Make you copper cable. There we go. And we'll just put the copper in there, get that stuff going. Let's see, did we get enough inserters? Yeah, we've got enough inserters to set up the gears now. So, let's see. Oh wait, let's get the output belt in here first. Oh, if I can stop running on the belts here. Okay, so we'll just pass right through. We'll upgrade these to fast inserters later, but we don't have any yet, but I think we can wait till we get them all to make those. Then we need power over here for our gear buffer. So we'll do 4 and 4. And now we'll do priorities here. So output priority left, that says send most of this stuff to the main bus, but if that backs up, then we'll put stuff in the buffer. And then on the input side, we're going to give priority to what's currently being produced, so we only use the buffer if we need it to supplement what's going on. Okay, so that will be gears on our main bus. Okay, let's move these things out of the way here. And then we're going to take another 1/8 of the iron and use it for green circuits. So this is the other 1/8 down here on the other end. Right, again, this went through 3 splitters from the original 1 belt of iron. We'll hop this across. And then, let's see. We need to put together the rest of this stuff into the remaining iron onto the bus, which is kind of funky. We got to put these sort of like three remaining lanes together, which is basically, it's going to add up to 1/4. Or I guess it's really just 2 lines. Let me slide this down. Okay. We need to put this one together, and then this one, and then this one. I'm not totally sure I did that right, but let's just get going. We don't want to spend too much time on this. All right. Good. So that'll be the iron on the main bus. This will be the iron for the green circuits. So let's see. Let's lay out our green circuit build. We'll put the green circuits closest. And then I guess we'll line up the copper cables here, and then green circuits in front. And then, let's see, we gotta sort of lay out the belts here properly. Okay, if we dip the iron towards the assemblers like this and use an underground for the output like this, we'll be able to use fast inserters for the inputs and outputs here. But I didn't get them in the right place, so let's move the assemblers a little closer. And okay, I think this is where we want this to be. Okay, so let's set the recipes. These will be green circuits. These will be, no, not gears. These will be copper wires. Okay, that's how we want that to look. All right, we're going to need copper next. So let's see, let's bring this across our output. Whoop, railway just finished. Okay, so that means I think we can just finish up this achievement here. So let's make some rails. Okay, 2, 4, that's enough rails. We have enough for 1 locomotive. Get the extra ingredients out. Okay, that one is done. Let's put our train up here by the in Monument Valley up here by the spaceship. So, boom, there we go. Getting on track like a pro. Nice. We'll even stick 1 coal in there so we don't get the flashing warning. Okay, that means we're done with this sort of temporary research stuff up here. So we can pick this all up and then move it back down towards the other end where we're doing most of our work at the moment. I think the idea is we want to minimize how much running around we're doing, and I don't really want to come back over this end until we're like adding more mining and increasing sort of our smelting production. Let's pick up these power poles while we're here. Waste not, want not. Including these here that are sort of in the way of what will eventually be our steel column. All right, let's go ahead and do some more red research while we're here. Now, since we just picked all this stuff up, and we have some red research left to do, let's just set up another quick sort of red science production here. And we'll just get the labs up here so we can be doing something useful while we're getting the rest of this going. This will be pretty quick to set up. So we'll just get 4 assemblers into the 8 labs. Very similar to what we had sort of up above, just a little more compact. So we can put power in, and yeah, we're not going to worry about green science right now. This is just temporary, just to chew through the remaining red science. I'll put in whatever remaining science we picked up here. There we go. Might as well just jam the green science in here so we don't lose track of it. All right, now we can finish our green circuit build. Oh yeah, we were getting copper, so let's go get the rest of that. Okay, here is the copper output. Let's get these out of the way. All right, finish optics. Let's get turrets just in case we need them. Let's see, we want the copper to come across over here. So that means we want to line this up to come over that way as well, across the coal. And then, let's see, I'll hop like this. Wow, we're really chewing through the research here. Okay, let's get heavy armor. We do have some steel left over from before, so we can use that to make heavy armor if we want. Let's just extend the belts so we can sort of cut and paste properly here. We can get the rest of this at least laid out with ghosts. So I think we want 4 sets of this, or 8 total green circuit assemblers. That should be enough for initially what we want. Okay, there we go. Get these trees out of the way. Fill in the assemblers. Fill in the output belts. And the iron inputs. Move this guy through. And now we can get the inserters set up. All right, so we're gonna output, 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 input, 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 input. And we need, we'll get the, need a lot of inserters to pull the iron, or sorry, the copper across. Since one copper plate makes 2 copper cables, we need sort of extra inserters to move the generated copper cables. All right, let's get the power poles in. Get this all powered up here. Okay, that should do that. We'll connect it up there. All right, that should hopefully produce green circuits. We'll put those on this lane in the bus. And then, let's see, we're eventually going to produce them on this side too, so we want to run this up. Oh, but we're out of belts. All right, let's just get some quick belt production going again. We are so close to having them all, but we're not quite there yet, so let's just get those going. All right, we need more gears, so conveniently we have them buffered up. Let's get the weapon upgrades. We are going to have to fight biters eventually, so that'll be useful. Plus, we don't have the green science going yet, so we'll just fill these all up with belts. We're going to need them. That way we can get 4 going at once. And yeah, okay, good. That's another 100 belts, so that'll help us out. All right, let's finish putting the... All right, so we're going to combine the output from the other side in with this one. And then we'll do the same kind of buffer trick as we did with the gears. So we'll have 4 chests. We'll get the assemblers off the excess. We'll feed them in here like this. We'll leave a space for power pole. And then we will combine them back with sort of the main bus. And we'll set the priorities. So output goes out to the main bus. That's on the left side. And then input priority from also the sort of main bus line. All right, that way we'll stack up the buffers, but we won't use them unless we don't have enough coming in off the bus. Okay, so good, that buffer is up and running. We'll bring our stuff down here, and now we're about ready to make a mall, I think. So this is super important for lazy bastards, since we don't really want to be handcrafting stuff if we can avoid it. You know, just all the base building materials will be so much easier with a little mall. So let's pick these up. So now we've got enough belts, hopefully, for what we want to do. These trees are all in the way, so we're going to have to do some chopping there. All right, so let's see. First part of the mall, we need to bring across eventually copper and steel is what's going to be on sort of the top part of the mall here. So let's just make some space here. So the steel is going to come down next to the copper. So this should combine copper and steel on one belt. So that's good. Let's see, we'll leave 2 spaces down so we can use long inserters to feed stuff over here. And the first thing we're going to make that we need a lot of in the mall is going to be boxes. So that's going to be boxes. But let's see, we definitely need more undergrounds. We haven't built the undergrounds yet, so we can hop this stuff across to continue the bus. All right, got some more undergrounds. We'll leave that running because we're definitely going to need more. And then we're going to need to split off green circuits and gears for another belt in the mall. So we'll combine those like that. All right, so we're going to make boxes here. Let's continue the things across here. Let's see, actually we need iron in like this, but oh wait, we actually need to split this because we need this to continue. Okay, so we'll split off the iron like that. We'll hop the green circuits down. Do we have any more of these? Yep, okay. Good, that brings the iron down, and we continue the copper, and eventually the steel will come down here too. Okay, great. All right, let's get ourselves going in the mall here. So, let's see. All right, output, we're gonna limit the outputs here. This is really important so that we don't just like send all of our resources into building stuff we'll never use. All right, so good, we've got boxes going. We need some more space over here. Let's work on inserters next. So let's see, if we leave a space here, then we can make regular inserters in the middle and feed them into the other types of inserters. So here, we'll set things up here. Let's see, regular inserters, then we need the output boxes. Okay, let's copy just the 1 slot limit there, but we'll get 2 slots, 2 stacks worth of regular inserters. We'll feed those in on the sides. Okay, we'll get the inputs in. 1 regular inserter, 1 long inserter each. Make fast inserters over there, long-handed inserters over here. Same deal. Okay, that's inserters going. Now we need belts. So we'll do something similar over here. Belts in the middle, undergrounds, and splitters. Actually, let's do it the other way around. I like to usually do the undergrounds first. Okay, output boxes, power. Okay, output inserters. Let's limit the chests. 1 stack of splitters, 2 stacks of undergrounds, and then let's make 1,000 belts. Okay, and then 1 short, 1 long inserter for each of these guys. Should be what it needs. Okay, that looks good. We need to get these trees out of the way as we continue the mall. Nice thing about setting up the belts for the mall this way, with the sort of copper and steel on one side, 1 belt of circuits and gears, and 1 belt of iron, we can make most of everything we need just in sort of 1 little line here, which is going to be really nice. Okay, next let's do some assembly machines. We're going to need those. We'll leave a ghost for the assembly machine 2s eventually, just so we have a placeholder. Remember that needs to go next to the initial assembly machines. So same deal, 1 red, 1 yellow inserter. That'll feed those. Okay, chop that open. Let's see, we are going to need, let's see, I guess miners next. So let's get those going. Okay. Input inserters, looking good. All right, let's continue the red research. Let's clear out these trees as we continue them all down here. Chop those out. All right, let's see. I think let's do some stuff with copper cables next. So we can make lights and power poles. So that'll be what we do here. And then we'll do some pipe-related stuff on the bottom side here. Okay, so this is going to need the copper cables, okay, especially if I pick copper cables. Then let's see, we'll make power poles over here. We'll make lights over here. Output boxes. Plus an input box for wood for the power poles. Get our power set up. Okay, bring the belts down. Then let's see, these are, we'll put a bunch of our wood in here. We'll keep some just in case. Okay, that's feeding wood. Let's limit the output. 2 stacks of power poles at a time. 1 stack of lights. Okay, that's the output. Let's see, we need copper into these guys. And then we need the ingredients for lights over there. All right, let's chop these trees out of the way and build out the last part of the mall, at least for now, which will be pipe-related stuff. We are going to need pipes for oil eventually, which is going to be one of the first things we're going to want to do after we get Red and Green Science up and running, is we're going to need to go off and get some oil. So let's get these trees out of our way. Okay, but before we do that, let's get some labs going. We're going to need extra labs for building out the science. We'll put 1 stack of belts in, and that should make just enough labs for what we want. Initially, I'm going to go for 32 total labs. So we've already got 8. running, and so one stack of belts should be enough for 24 more. Okay, that's laying out the stuff for the pipes. We need more boxes for the outputs. We need more inserters. Already getting to take advantage of them all. That's good stuff. More power poles. Okay, so these are going to be pipes. These are going to be steam engines. These are going to be underground pipes. Those will be the outputs. We'll offset the pipe one so we can squeeze one for boilers in here too. So eventually I think we're going to get bots to help us expand the power. So we might as well build all that stuff here so they'll have them. All right, let's see. Let's get more fast inserters. We definitely want fast inserters for pipes. So many things need them in big quantities. So, okay, collecting pipes. Do the usual trick for the steam engines. Let's see, we're gonna need 60 steam engines, 20 more for the current line, and then 40 if we build a second sort of steam plant. We need the undergrounds, and then we'll make one more inserter, or sorry, one more assembler for boilers. Let's see. Ooh, we should limit the chest here. Okay, we do have limits on fast inserters, so that's good. Okay, so let's squeeze. Let's move this power pole so we can squeeze this assembler in here. We'll feed it pipes. You will become boilers. You'll get an input, and we'll put some stone furnaces in here. We only need 20 more boilers. So we actually have to go get the stone furnaces from where we're making them. All right, let's take a trek back over here. Visit 2, what's going on in here? I guess we can move this stuff out of the way as long as we're over here. We'll collect this stuff. Okay, there's our stone furnaces. Run on the belts. Okay, now we can finish feeding the boilers. So we're going to need 20 boilers, so that's 20 stone furnaces. We'll just put 24, that's fine. I'll make a few extra. No big deal. And then let's leave space eventually for red belts. So we'll just ghost those out. And then, actually, let's just ghost out the output boxes for those. Okay, let's pause things there. We've just gotten them all up and running, which is a major achievement for a Lazy Bastard run. We are about an hour and a half into the game. We've already checked off one of our achievements, so that's pretty good. I think next episode we're going to be working on red and green science and taking things from there, but this is enough, I think, for this episode, so we'll stop here. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and until then, bye.